Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to Invest 360. I am Joe, and I'm here with my host, Carlo. What's up, Carlo? How you doing?
What's up, Joe?
So for those just tuning in, this is Invest 360. It was initially supposed to be something to help people learn about how to invest in houses and homes, flip homes, and all that. COVID came, we pivoted, and this has been a program for 2 seasons now of how to invest in yourselves by interviewing people who invested in themselves, hearing stories of how they overcame things, arcs. So for the months of November and December, Carlo and I with Invest 360 will be featuring people and stories of gratitude, thankfulness, and recovery. This one is a special episode. We got none other than Lillo Brancato. He is going to be talking about a bunch of his stories and so forth. But before we get into that, I got Carlo, who's going to talk about the backbone of Invest 360, which is our nonprofit organization, Happy Smiles. Carlo.
What's up? How's it going, Joe?
Going great, man.
Hello,
Great.
what's going on, man? It's a pleasure meeting you and having you on today.
You too. Thank you. Thank you both for having me on the show. I appreciate it.
So, guys, so Happy Smiles. Yes, we are the backbone of Invest 360. And what is Happy Smiles, right? So Happy Smiles is a 501c3 organization, and we primarily started for the simple reason to help anyone coping with life and hard times that we all deal with, right? We tag ourselves the new era in kindness because we too often underestimate the power of a touch, a smile, kind word, a listening ear, an honest compliment, just the small things in life that really matter, right? And those are the things that can really just change your life, just those little things in life. So we donate to a different organization every month, not only monetarily, guys, but we also try to get out there and help anywhere we can as well. So we're on the lookout for things that we can do throughout the day, throughout the year, throughout the week, whenever it might be. And your help is always welcome out there. So all donations are accepted and can be done through Venmo at Happy Smiles Inc. And we really appreciate it. But on the other side, tonight we have to introduce you to no other than Lillo Brancato. Nice to meet you.
You too. Thank you, guys.
Going on, Lillo?
Lillo, so how's everything? All right?
Good, thank God. It's starting to get cold. It's starting to get cold here in New York,
I know, man. I know it is. We felt it today.
Yeah.
We definitely felt it, man. So usually, we ask people, who they are, where they're from. I don't think we need to have that kind of introduction for you. I think a lot of people out there know who you are. But if some people don't, why don't you just tell us a little bit about who you are and where you're from?
My name is Lillo Brancato. I'm from Yonkers, New York. I was in movies and television, movies such as A Bronx Tale, Crimson Tide, Renaissance Man, Sopranos. I also, went through a lot as far as, drug addiction, and, it resulted in someone losing their life. And so I'm a person in recovery, just trying to use my experience in the hopes of helping others.
Yeah. So you're from Yonkers, right?
Yes, correct.
And you were, so I read a little bit about you being adopted. Can you tell us, is Lillo your name, your real name? And what are your thoughts on adoption?
Lillo was given to me by my parents that adopted me, but my name at birth was Saul Rodriguez.
Okay.
It was changed to Lillo Brancato, obviously. Every once in a while, I do like a flashback Friday or throwback Thursday on Instagram to when I was Saul. But I was born in Bogota, Colombia, 1976. Came here January 1st, 1977. Adopted by a beautiful, great Italian family. Immigrants. My dad was Sicilian. My mom was Calabrese. So I learned how to speak Italian. I speak the dialects. The whole Italian culture. The food, everything else that goes with it.
Yeah,
you can say that. I was blessed to have grown up Italian. A lot of who I am today was because of that. Upbringing.
Yeah. And how about acting? What got you into acting?
I was just on the beach that day, July 5th, 1992. They found me, the Bronx Tale. It was an open call audition. They were looking for kids to play De Niro's son. And I was there. I was there at the right time, at the right place at the right time. And, I went in to read and then discovered that I had some acting talent, and then eventually landed the role.
That's awesome.
What was it like working with Robert De Niro and Chaz Palminteri?
Oh, it was great. I mean, it was surreal at the time because, you're 16 years old. It's just like, I mean, to think about what that is and to have these two men take you under their wing and, trust you to be the lead actor in something that's very special to them, especially Chaz. That was his story. And then you have De Niro, it was his directorial debut. So that's a lot.
Yeah.
That's a lot. That's a lot to have to handle at that age,
Yeah. I can't believe 16 and you just happen to be on a beach. That's amazing.
Yeah, I wasn't even 16 yet. I was 15 at the time when they found me, and then I turned 16 as I got the part and we were doing the film.
Well, you handled it very well.
Thank you,
Yeah.
Carlo. I appreciate it.
Oh man, yeah. So you were on Sopranos as well. Your season was definitely a lot of different storylines at the same time. What was that experience like?
I mean, the Sopranos the first season was such a huge success that to have been on it after all of that was like, when we did the Bronx Tale, right? Yeah. I didn't have the experience, so I didn't know what it was going to be like, the attention that I was going to get once the film was released, a major film like that. But then being on The Sopranos, with having that experience, knowing how popular the show is and how you're going to get that attention all over again, it's exciting, but it's scary also because you don't know where the attention is going to come from or what it could lead to, because there's so much going on, so much at one time. You can't see half of the shit that's going on around you. And then before you know it, like, whoa, how did I get here?
Mm-hmm.
So, but experience is, obviously very important. It's a big reason why I'm able to stay sober today. I do a lot of the things I used to do. I used to go, I'd go to like film premieres and you go to the parties, where back in the day I would succumb to being at a party where I would start drinking and then doing drugs. But now, because I have the experience, those things don't happen.
Right.
It's just like they don't happen,
So random question in between that. Do you get a lot of fan mail? Like, do you still have like people from your child, from back in the day reaching out to you? I think my wife was one of them.
I don't know about fan mail. Well, I guess getting direct messages on Instagram, I guess that's the equivalent of fan mail, because you get people that reach out to you via social media. Hey, I'm so-and-so. I saw the film for the first time when I was 7. And, yeah. So, but that's, it's always a beautiful thing. It's always, a very beautiful thing. It's very, very appreciated.
Absolutely.
Especially more now than before, just because at one point in my life, I lost everything. And then you realize how precious it is when it's gone. Like, wow. So now that it's back again, you can say, thank God. And, you just appreciate it so much more. And you don't want to lose it,
So before I get into the next question, my brother-in-law, Tommy, says, what's up? And
hey, Tommy.
And Laura Cyrac says, yes. That was someone else. This girl is my wife's best friend, and from what I hear, they both had a crush on you.
Thank you.
So
I don't know. I think you're trying to you're trying to get rid of your wife over there, Joe. What's going on?
No, it's not that at all. It's just I just like making her turn redder than the Christmas colors on the tree.
Yeah, I do the same thing. It's funny.
So but a more serious question. Should we be pushing Wabistics?
No, I don't. I mean, yeah, I think you shouldn't be pushing American forestry. I'll tell you that. Yeah, but that was really good stuff. That was awesome. That was awesome to work with, Christopher. Christopher. Michael Imperioli.
Yeah.
He's one. Let me tell you something. That guy's probably the best guy from that show. He's the best guy from that show, probably the most real that there is from that show. And he's an awesome actor. He's a good man.
I loved watching him in the 2 movies he was in before I even discovered Sopranos. I remember him with that one little part in Lean on Me.
Mm-hmm.
And then I remembered him in Basketball Diaries. And that movie I thought was like, wow, like that that was deep. Like that was pretty interesting.
Yeah.
Yeah, he was good. He was his friend, the sick. He was sick in Basketball Diaries.
Yep.
Yeah, he's an awesome actor, man. He really is.
Yeah,
he really is, and he's an awesome, even better person. You know.
Have you? So I'm gonna fast forward to that though. Like, what? Before I'm gonna come back around to that in a second. But Many Saints in Newark, the Sopranos spinoff. What'd you think of that?
Oh, it's the worst I've ever seen. It was such a bad movie. Come on, like people will probably look at me and say, "Oh, well, he shouldn't be saying that." But if you're going to ask me the question, don't you want the truth?
Of course.
In this world, I think we should do more stuff like tell each other the truth.
Yeah.
I think we get further like that when you learn what someone likes or doesn't like, rather than we lie to each other and we build something based on shit. But the bottom line is this. The bottom line is the show was unbelievable. It was so well written. And I got to say, I didn't care for anyone in that movie. Okay, Dickie Moltisanti, the legend, we heard about him on the show. But hearing about him on the show once in a while is not enough for me to want to find out who this guy is. It was basically a movie about him and his mistress. I didn't learn why Tony did. There was no segue. There was nothing that told me that Tony was going to become a wise guy. At least in the show, when he discovers why he was having the panic attacks, and that was when he was around meat. Because remember, he saw his father cut the guy's finger off in the meat, the meat slicer.
Yep.
Okay, so then his father said, he goes, "Didn't I tell you to stay in the car?" Then he says, "A lot of little kids your age, they would have ran, but you stayed." So little things like that tell you that Tony's going to be tough. The show, set it up the right way. This was I can't believe that this film was even made and released. It's really that bad. Please don't. There's nothing. Come on, it's not even. It was so bad. I feel like we should almost get our money back. It was that bad. No, I'm not even saying it to be funny. There was nothing good about that. All the guys who played the young characters, I'm not saying they were bad, but it was almost like comical. It was like watching a spoof of The Sopranos. It's like watching Scream and then Scary Movie. It really was.
If anyone I
wanted that movie to be good so bad.
There was so much buildup.
And if anyone can make that, that posturing and that story and that testimonial of the movie, it would be Matthew Bevilacqua for working his executive game. In honor.
Yeah. No, but whatever, I didn't like that Ray Liotta was in it, played two characters. I think that was so stupid. And I love Ray Liotta.
Yeah.
I love him. I just didn't think the best one for me, the most accurate and consistent, from the book, and not from the book, from the show, and just something that you could say, okay, this person, like the guy who played Uncle Junior, why? Because he said your sister's cunt when he fell. That makes you you sold it because he said that. That guy did not seem like he would have turned into that grouchy old man. He just didn't.
Right.
John Bernthal was fine. Johnny Bernthal, Tony's father. The problem was they didn't give him a big enough role.
Yeah, I was hoping to see more of him. Yeah,
that guy, he can carry it. And Tony's father was a big pivotal person in his life. I think the movie should, instead of Dickie, it should have concentrated on Tony's father and their relationship. And that's where the whole thing with the meat, and just like they should have built on that. The whole Mr. Softy thing. Okay, so from Robin to Mr. Softy, now you're an arch criminal, you're a gangster. There's no, we wanted, and the Many Saints of Newark, do you know where that comes from?
Moltisanti.
Right, yeah. So, yeah. I thought that was cool.
Yeah.
That was awesome. I was like, wow, this is going to be like a play on words. I was like, all right, it's going to be real. The Irishman, like, overall, both of them were disappointments. The Many Saints of Newark had no shot at being good with what was written and what it was, and just had no shot. My opinion, they went the wrong way with the storyline. It should not have focused on Dickie Moltisanti. It should have been more on Tony. It should have been on Tony, not Dickie.
Yeah, we got 2 comments. One's from John Rossi, and he just wants to say that he's proud of Lillo for his strength and courage.
It's Lillo. It's Lillo.
Lillo, yeah.
It's all right. It's all right.
But wow, I'm about to get clipped over here.
Your wife hitting you?
She's cracking up over here. And then you got Damien Malave, who wants to know if you will ever direct a movie.
Yeah, absolutely. I would love that.
That'd be awesome. I'd love to see that.
Love that. I may even enjoy that even more.
Yeah.
You know, some people think directing is, you know, being able to use the camera and it's this shot. And I'm like, listen, as a director, I don't think you have anything to do with the way, you know, the shots and stuff like that.
Yeah.
Because if you direct the actors the right way, it wouldn't be necessary to have different shots. You can hold them on one wide 2 shot. And if they're good, you don't need to see it bounce back and forth. You want to see them both at the same time. You know, that's the way I look at it. But like I was saying, The Irishman, obviously, The Irishman's 1,000 times better than Many Saints in Newark. The Irishman's problem was it was too long. That's the problem because there were so many great things. It just needed to be, you know, trim. There was too much fat. Right. That should have been like a 2.5-hour movie, not 3.5 hours. Should have been an hour shorter and it could have been good.
Damien says you should come to Trenton, New Jersey and do a movie about the Chambersburg section back in the day, the Italian neighborhood in Trenton, New Jersey. I agree.
Oh, yeah?
That'd be a good movie. Yep.
That would be a good movie.
Yeah. Yep.
But I think he would be able to do it considering his roles in Sopranos and Bronx Tale.
Absolutely. Absolutely. I guess it's something that's got to be talked about.
Yeah, that's something, you know, it's got to be like really, really good. Like for me to keep playing those, you know, like I said, I love the Italian culture, you know, Italian. I was raised Italian. But as an actor, it's not challenging for me to keep playing those roles.
Right.
Like I just.
I'm sorry. I think I got
you're right.
You know what I mean?
Yeah. Yep. You want to diversify a little bit and keep challenging yourself.
I like to recite Shakespeare on a mountaintop in the rain. You know, with no umbrella. I mean, anything. You know, it's
something different.
Unless it's like Scorsese or Steven Spielberg.
Yeah.
So, you know what I mean?
Sorry, that was Justin who asked that question, not Damien. I'm sorry.
Right.
Justin Gerard asked that question. My bad.
Hey, Justin.
Yeah. So my next question is: you got to work with all these actors. They're pretty good actors, and have you kept in contact with any of them? Like you mentioned, Michael Imperioli is a great guy.
Well, I talked to Michael. I mean, I don't talk to him like, you know, we here and there on Instagram, but he's a really good guy. He remembers meeting my dad because my dad was on the set, and we also did a pilot for CBS back in '96 called Firehouse. It was a fireman show.
Oh, okay.
And he was a lieutenant, O'Connell, and I was a probationary firefighter. Burt Young was the fire chief.
Oh, wow.
Yeah. We had Carmela Soprano was the EMS girl.
Yeah.
This was way back before, you know.
It's a nice cast.
Yeah. And never got picked up. Richard Dean Anderson, MacGyver.
Wow.
He was the lead role.
Oh, shit.
I remember hearing rumors that the network didn't think he was New York enough, which he's not.
Yeah.
But he's not. Did you ever see Rescue Me?
Yeah.
Like Dennis Leary. He's New
York. Right.
That was a great show. That was a great show.
Yeah.
That, you know, but yeah, so he knew my dad from back then. He knew him from the set of The Sopranos. He said when I posted a picture of my dad, I think it was his birthday, October 19th, Michael said he said really nice things about my dad. And, you know, I respect that because a lot of actors probably wouldn't, just to not want to be associated. And I got absolutely no respect for people like that. Yeah. Because anybody, like if I'm looking at somebody if I'm some big name in the industry, or I'm a big producer, and I look at somebody, I'm not going to think good of them if they don't support their friend just because of what happened. I'm going to be in my mind, if something ever happened to me, this person ain't going to support me either. They got no backbone. But then you look at these people that actually do go out of their way and say nice things regardless of the fact. That's the people you want to be around because you know what's going to happen in the event something happens. You know what I mean? So
back to that question, though. I know you said, like, you know, Michael Imperioli reached out, but like we know you probably told the story 1,000 times, and you said like they probably didn't want to be associated. But where was your head at when this all happened? Like, we talk about that situation?
Yeah. What do you mean? As far as what?
Like, so what happened? Tell us the story of like what happened. Like, where were you in your life that all this transpired back in 2005?
Oh, well, I was I was slowly, downward spiraling into drug addiction. I had a girlfriend at the time, and my addiction, I was, got into heroin, to crack. And then when that happened, it was just like, I mean, it was, I'm lucky. Well, someone did lose their life. So, I mean, those were the worst days of my life. I mean, I'm really lucky that I made it out of that time in my life. A lot of people, don't and didn't. But I'm just blessed to be here today. And I know that it was for a reason. And I try to find more of that reason every single day,
Yeah. Yeah. So after everything went down, and after you were released, the documentary came out, Wasted Talent. There was a lot of different things that came out in that documentary. Was there anything from that documentary that wasn't said, or you'd like to share from the documentary?
Oh, I mean, there's just so much. I mean, that kind of focused on what happened, not really where I came from or who I was.
Right.
But yeah, I mean, there's just so much. You know what I mean?
What I appreciated from that documentary, and because you did hit the nail on the head, I didn't see much of where you came from and who you were. I saw a few people who said something, and like, for instance, a lot of people saying a lot of great things about your dad. A lot of people saying like, for instance, what's his name, Mario, from the Bronx.
Lewis, he's a very good friend of mine. Very good.
Yeah. So like, I mean, there was a lot of positive stuff that kind of shaped who you are as a person, and like, but like even Drea Di Matteo, who you were in a movie with at the time too, and she saw like you kind of spiraling out in that movie when I guess the first beginning happened. Like, is that where it started, or was it before that?
No, it was before that. It was way before that. Oh yeah, I mean, I was into cocaine since like '94, and I did that movie with Dre in like 2000.
Right.
Okay.
Yeah.
Like, I saw the part with Jason Williams, and I was like, wait, what? I that's where I first heard about the crack part, and I was like, or not the cocaine part. I was like, wow, all right. Like, but like, and then you segued into like the crack addiction. What was the crack addiction? The end of the like, is that where everything just spiraled out?
Well, it was the crack and the heroin.
Okay.
At the same time, I mean, either one of those drugs alone is very bad, but
Right.
the two of them is like, you could be up for 2 weeks and not even realize it and still going.
Yeah.
Like, what am I doing?
Yeah.
I guess I hate to. So from those, like, I read in whatchamacallit, 2000 in People magazine, the article that Chaz said that he hadn't gotten contact with you. Would that be something that has that happened since then?
What do you mean? Has Chaz gotten contact with me?
Yeah, or vice versa?
No, we spoke to each other through Michael Francesi.
Okay.
He's got that.
Yeah.
Because I was on his show first, and I said some things about Chaz, and then Michael brought them up to Chaz. Kind of like called him out on it, and Chaz didn't really know what to say, because he said some bad things about me when I got in trouble. Mm-hmm. And meanwhile, my parents were so nice to him. Like, why would you do that? You think that makes you look good because you're talking about a kid who was a young kid who was in your movie? You think that makes you look good that you're talking bad about this guy, especially when you were supposed to be stand-up guy Chaz, who didn't rat on the guy and the movie was made about you, right? But now you don't want to talk to me because of what happened and it was a cop. So which way are you? The guy who didn't tell on the guy's son that killed the guy, the guy in the street, or the guy who's, all of a sudden making a big deal and a concerned citizen as to what happens? Like, that was a murder back then, right? You didn't tell because that was supposed to be your story, right? You didn't tell on the guy. Okay, so what's the difference now? It's a cop. Now you want to alienate. Why didn't, like wise guys, they do that too. Why don't you alienate them? Why don't you say something? You know what I mean? It's just like.
So I'm gonna fast forward a bit. Now, because of the tragedy that happened and involved that, someone died from there, like, let's get this out there because it's going to come up, right? Do you have a dislike for police officers?
No.
In the movie, it was brought up.
You can't, like you get some cops as scumbags and you get some cops that are good guys. That's old men or women, that's with everything else.
So
even after what happened, a lot of cops are still really cool with me. So
yeah, and that's what my segue right there.
Yep.
In the
good and bad and everything.
Yeah. In the documentary, one of the casting agents, I believe, she said she would love for you to, would you be willing to work with police in the future about showing people about recovery and what people's struggles are and so forth? Or do you currently do that now?
No, well, I don't, but if the opportunity presented itself, I would. I remember like one time I was out in Jersey City and I went to talk to these kids and it was like, and then the cops out there made a big deal. Right message, wrong messenger. They like bashed me for going out there, paying for my own way out there. I didn't get paid a penny to go out there and try to like talk to these kids. And they went and bashed me and talked bad about me. Like, why would you do that? You know what I mean? Like that kind of stuff is not encouraging to make you want to work with the cops. You know what I mean? Because it's like, your community should be a big part of what you're about. And if me coming there with an experience to share with these kids that can maybe make a difference in their lives, a positive one, you should be all for that. You shouldn't be talking bad about that. Come on, it is what it is. I lost a lot. I mean, why would you do that? So, but I don't hate all cops. I mean, no, of course not. Like I said, I grew up, I know a lot of cops, my friends, guys that I grew up with. So, it's just personality. Because they wear, a badge doesn't mean that automatically now because of that badge. It just comes down to personality. Someone has a likable personality, someone doesn't. That's what it comes down to for me.
That's fair, very fair. I mean, I appreciate that answer and like the fact that you're willing to work together and so forth. That's if the opportunity presents itself, that's very honorable. So
I mean, the big picture would be helping people,
Yeah.
Some kid's mother and father, crying for their kid. Now you get the cops team up with someone like myself that has the experience. I think it could be very helpful. I think it's a beautiful combination. I really do, and could really help a lot of people. So I would be all for it.
A very good friend of our show, which I would love to introduce you to him so you can be on his podcast. It's called Rotated Views. Jimmy Lee Velez, he's a motivational speaker. He said there are challenges and temptations that come up every day to make bad decisions or potentially relapse. What are some of your tactics to use on a daily basis to overcome this urge and make poor choice?
I got to be honest with you. At this point in time, I just celebrated 15 years on November 18th. I don't really get the urge to get high anymore. It's just not there anymore. I've just learned to live life a better way. And I mean, like when I hear people say, they're still struggling after 15, 20 years, that it's still a struggle every day. I just think that they're putting the wrong things in their head, that they're still feeling that way that many years later. I don't think after that many years of, doing the right thing and staying sober and all the beautiful things that have come to fruition as a result of your sobriety, I can't see you wanting to live any other way. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So like it's come to the point where I've replaced drug addiction with work. Working out is an addiction of mine. It really is an addiction. I mean, listen, sometimes I miss things that I shouldn't miss to work out. So I definitely know it's something more than just something I do every day as I like, but.
Well, in harmony with that, what have you been doing since all this and like to help people outside of that? And why is recovery and advocacy important to you?
It is because I know that's why God kept me alive. I know I'm here for a reason. I know I could have gotten 25 to life. I got shot 3 times. I overdosed. I mean, I should have been dead so many times and I'm not. So I realized that the plan is for me to use what I have, to help others, and that's a big reason why I stay on the right path, because it's like you're held accountable in an indirect way, just because now you have these people that reach out to you and say, hey, Lillo, someone's parents or whatever. So now it's like you have to provide a good example for them. So that's basically being held accountable for your actions, and you got to do the right thing because now this person is looking up to you for inspiration. And it's like if you fall, this guy's going to say, well, hey, my mentor, he relapsed, so what the hell? I may as well do it too. We'll get back on track, or you know what I mean?
Well,
Jimmy
that's
Lee.
your.
Go ahead,
Sorry.
Carlos.
I was going to say, so going back to kind of what Jimmy was saying a little bit, that's kind of your why, and why, what your temptations, why maybe you don't have the temptation, but you're positive thinking and you're strong and you're pushing to help other people is what's getting you through, and what you're doing every day. And that's awesome.
It gives you like a really good sense of purpose, a real positive purpose.
That's your why. I mean? Yep. Absolutely, man.
It's a beautiful thing,
Yeah.
Yes. Jimmy says awesome, powerful stuff. And yes, that's exactly what he was trying to get at. And he says good stuff. I want to know, Justin Gerard asked the question. He goes, ask him if it was part of the scene that he was in with the heightened of it, the using experience, or is it something genetic like family history? Like that, I guess, started your addiction.
Wait, say that again.
It's
What do you say? Like, do I think my addiction was maybe hereditary?
Was it? Could it have possibly been hereditary, like genetic, or what? Like family history? Like
absolutely.
Okay.
Nature versus nurture. Absolutely.
All right.
Yeah.
That's powerful stuff there, man.
Yeah, absolutely, man.
Yeah, I mean, no one is born with a clean slate. The psychology term for a clean slate is the term tabula rasa. But no one, when you're born, there's no clean slate. You already have stuff in there just with what you're born with. And now, based on where you're going to be, where you're going to grow up, will it be conducive to bring certain things out, certain traits? You have this, you could have, you get two brothers that, are brought up in a household with two drug addict parents, where you get one that goes one way and one goes the other way. You know what I mean?
Right.
So it's just like, yeah, I think it definitely could have been hereditary. No doubt about it.
All right.
Hey, so switching gears a little bit, right? So what do you do now? You've been acting again? What kind of what are you doing? What are you working on?
I'm doing a film right now called Sleepyhead. I got another couple days on that. That's been awesome. My friend James Hilger wrote the film. My friend Ricky Nardis executive produced. We're all Yonkers guys. I posted a clip of it on Instagram. It's pretty good. Yeah. Trust me, it's pretty good. When the guy walks in with the mask.
Yep.
Mm-hmm. Okay.
Yeah. It's we did that. I got a short film with Jamie Lynn Sigler called I'm on Fire coming out. I have one made in Mexico. Mario Lopez produced. His right-hand man, Rodney Rinks, wrote and directed. They actually just sent me a picture. It's going to be on Axe. Wait, hold on. Show it to you right now.
While you're doing that, Thomas Arcese says, "See, God bless you for turning it around. You played some good parts in the movies, but the Bronx Tale was the best ever." All right, look at that. Okay.
Nice. Yep.
That's Mario Lopez. See me in the background with the shades?
Yep. I see it.
Yeah, nice. It's pretty cool stuff,
It's real cool. Yep.
Yeah, so we got that. Thank God. And I also work I'm director of public relations at a drug rehab called More Life Recovery. The owners, my friend Stephen Barone, Joe Coyle, Kenny Sass, really, really great guys. And that's, I go in once a week. I do a group. I do 2 inspirational videos for them a week. So you've seen them on my Instagram.
Yeah.
And I do one movie like drug addiction themed. Like one I did with the little girl asking her mother if her daddy's going to be at the softball game, and simultaneously he's in the car shooting dope, and then he relapses. Stuff like that. I try to do it all in 1 minute, but that's another, I love being part of that company. I mean, it's just another place. I go there every Wednesday. I meet new people all the time, people in recovery. And it's really nice it's not nice to see these faces because they're in recovery, but it's nice to see their faces in a sense where it's nice to see that they finally got to a point in their life where they know they can't do this alone. I'm not going to be able to do this alone. Like that's the best. That's the biggest trick. That addiction, when I'm ready, I'm going to do it. It's just that you're never going to be able to do it on your own. Right. Even with help, it's hard to do. Yeah, that's what I try to tell people. Even with help, it's hard to do. So, but I love being there. And like I said, it's more life recovery. It's an IOP, intensive outpatient. There's day groups, night groups. Awesome. Like I said, it's really important for me to stay plugged in and knowing, because that's more accountability.
Yeah. And is that in Yonkers too?
No, it's in Jersey. It's in Metuchen, New Jersey. It's about an hour away.
Yep.
We had a gentleman on our show not too long ago. He's a former filmmaker as well. His name's Kel Ramos.
Yep.
And he has this website called Recovery House USA. It's like the Zillow of recovery houses. So basically it gives people like the recovery house where it's located, any job entry, job training around the area, anything like that. I'll definitely send you the information. Definitely something that.
Yeah.
So you're currently, acting. You're obviously in a relationship with someone. So the question is, did she pass the Sunny test?
I don't. You mean the door test?
Yeah.
Yeah. I can't. It's really hard. You can't really even now with the bloop bloop. With the alarm. The keypad. It's really hard to do. So I can't even really answer that question.
Can't even answer.
But yeah. But that was that's just basically Sunny's saying that if she can't do that, that's an extension of who she is.
Right.
You got seat warmers in your car?
Seat warmers? Yeah.
Well, she turns it on for you. There goes the new test.
Yeah, that's the new. Yeah. Ooh, these seats feel hot. Thank you. No. I think you know what? I think just about every car now, right? Now with the heated seats, right? Almost
everything's included now.
Yeah.
So
but there's a shortage though. There's a shortage in inventory.
Oh yeah.
The microchip down. China, let me tell you that getting a car at a good price right now is a real accomplishment. It's hard to do.
Mm-hmm.
So going back to addiction, what would you like to say to people about addiction, being that you're doing this work with the recovery house and so forth?
What would I like to say? I would like to say that if you feel that, you're addicted and you feel that you can't stop on, you have to get help. Because this is this is life and death. This is not something that is just going to go away. You're going to outgrow like some little kid outgrows their shoes. It's not going to be one day when you're just going to wake up and you're going to have rid yourself of this spiritual disorder. But if you need the help, make sure you get it. Don't wait till it's Thursday. I'll just wait till Monday. If you need the help, to make sure you get it right away, because literally it takes that 1 second to take a bad dose and you'll die.
Yeah.
So, and another thing is people, it's just like when you're go to meetings and just to have, the whole network of friends and people that you can reach out to when you feel that you need it. A lot of people like that I've encountered, and people that reach out, they always talk about, hey, my parents don't know, or this one doesn't know. And I don't think that's the right way to do it. I think, even though it may hurt them, it may break their heart initially, eventually, I think that, having them on your side and to have that one more person you can depend on that's going to support you, that's going to make all the difference. Yeah. So don't be afraid, because listen, ask yourself this question. What's there to be more afraid of? Me letting my parents know that I'm addicted to drugs, or dying?
Yeah.
That's the bottom line. What are you really more afraid of? Telling your parents that you got a problem, which eventually they're going to come around and love you and, to help you take care of that problem, or dying, because that's what's going to happen, or you're going to go to jail. There's never been a book about the addict that lived happily ever after. Like on the cover of the book with his little dog, the addict that lived happily ever after, with his little umbrella and his dog, with his big smile, with a crack pipe in his mouth. Well, that doesn't happen, bro. It
doesn't happen.
And it's never going to happen.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I'm gonna start using that quote. Like that. That's great. That's great.
It is good. Perfect. Hey, so saying that, right? So with everything that you've done, everything that you have accomplished, everything that you've learned, for somebody that's trying to blaze their own trail, is trying to get out there in their community, is trying to make a name for themselves, trying to do a side hustle, what kind of advice can you give them?
I just think that, never give up, man, because people get discouraged. Like, you never know. Look at a lot of these people that make it really big. Just think about how long it took them, how much rejection that they faced before they got to what they were. It's all about resilience. If you don't have that quality, try to have that quality. Do whatever you have to do to become more resilient. That's life. Life is going to kick us. You know what I mean? It's like, it's going to kick us, going to drag us. This shit's going to happen. You got to be resilient. And then it's going to happen when it's meant to happen. Right. Or maybe it won't happen, but what you're really meant to do, you will find along the way where you won't even give a shit about the first thing you were worried about. You know what I mean?
Very well said, man.
Yeah, but it's true. Just keep, just don't give up.
Right.
I could have, you know what I mean? When I first came home, I had barely $1,000 to my name. I couldn't get an acting role for the life of me. It was like, like when I came home, it wasn't like I was like somebody who just came like some war hero. You know what I mean? A lot of people hated me, man. And, a lot of rejection. And you know what? I stayed the course. I stayed sober. I didn't give up. And I can honestly say I have a really good life now. And, I got people trust me again. I have my family and my beautiful nieces, my nephew. I mean, and simplicity is key. It's just about having, just about living a simple life. When you complicate things, it's like, simplicity is key, Yeah.
It's good to hear, man. That's really good to hear.
Thank
so
you.
How important, in my business as a home inspector, Saturdays and Sundays, we deem as self-inspection days. Reading a little bit about you, I know that you wake up in the morning, you pray, you do what you need to do for yourself. How important do you think self-inspection is?
I mean, everything starts with us.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? You can't love someone else if you don't love yourself. Everything starts with us. To be able to be productive, a productive member of society that interacts with others in a positive way where they can actually bring something, positive to that person's life, it all starts with you. Because if you hate yourself, you're not going to want to bring anything positive to them. So, of course, working on yourself is everything. It's a domino effect. You'll never perfect yourself, but you'll make progress with yourself on a daily basis. If you were a little bit better today than you were yesterday, that's all that matters.
I love that.
Yep. Yeah. It's going to all start with us.
Yeah, man.
Awesome. I love that. Justin said, last question from him. He wants to know, who is the hardest person to work with in the business? And if you answer it, he'll buy you a tomato pie at Di Lorenzo's in Robbinsville, which is the best tomato pie on the East Coast of NJ and PA.
Oh, I was going to say on the East Coast. I was going to say, I'll be the judge of that. But then he said, who's the hardest person to work with in this business?
Mm-hmm. Did he freeze?
No. I'm here. I'm just trying to think. I don't really know. Hardest person to work with? I'm real and I'm honest.
Yeah.
I just don't know really where to go with that right now.
Yeah.
Hold off on that tomato pie at Di Lorenzo's. You know what I mean? I don't know. It's not,
He said it's Bobby D, isn't it?
What'd you say, Joe?
Justin goes, it's Bobby D, isn't it?
Bobby D.
No, of course not. No, De Niro.
No.
De Niro's got a son my age, Raphael. De Niro's like, De Niro's great. De Niro's
Lars Cyrax says, is there any one thing that a person has said or done that sticks with or continue to inspire you?
That's good. It's a good question.
Lars Cyrax, coach of the Riders cheerleading squad.
Yeah, you know what? Yeah, Arnold Schwarzenegger. Everybody thinks of Arnold as like some foreigner, and people make fun of Arnold, but they don't realize he's so brilliant. Who the hell do you know? This guy was born in a different country. He comes to this country. He takes bodybuilding to the top. He takes movies to the top. He takes politics to the top. That's a genius. Even to take one of those things to the top. Okay, he did 3.
Right.
Arnold Schwarzenegger said something.
It's turbo time?
Huh?
It's turbo time?
No, he said something in Pumping Iron. Did you ever see Pumping Iron?
Yeah.
You remember that documentary that he made about, the body, like the Mr. Olympia was like 77 or whatever when he competed against Franco Columbu and Lou Ferrigno. He said something in that documentary.
Yeah.
Like, wow, it totally changed everything for me. He said while he was competing, he goes, my mother called and said, your father died. Are you coming home for the funeral? And he says, no, I'm not coming home for the funeral. He goes, why would I do that? I've been training for so long. Why would I come home and, those few days will cause me to lose when my father would want me to win anyway? So why don't I just stay, win, and dedicate dedicate it to him? That makes so much sense because, like, I look at it this way. Like, say if I was like now I look at it like he would have never maybe became who he was if he would have went to that funeral and didn't win that Olympia. Okay? He would have never, because that's where it all started. The bodybuilding was the platform which he used to get to the movie career. And the movie career is the platform he used to get to the political career. If that bodybuilding career wasn't as solid as it was with all those Olympias, he may not have made it to the next one. I grew up, with old school Italians. And I think about my father did pass away, And, I got my father. Look, he's my screenshot.
Nice.
Wow.
See, that's,
Yeah.
So, and I think about if I was like, say if I was doing some movie, say I was playing a role like Heath Ledger, like the Joker. I was like, I had to really, really be in character where like the time that I'm doing this movie, I'm like locked in a room somewhere for the month or two, whatever I got to do. And now this happens. Prior to hearing what Arnold said, I may have went. But now I'm thinking to myself, and it's not to sound, because I love my father. I mean, I got to imagine but logically, it just would make more sense. Arnold taught that to me in a situation like that where even though this is a very emotional situation, logic trumps emotion. You understand?
Yeah.
Because it has to. If I'm go back and I see all my family, I'm in character. Now when I go back, all that magic of what I've been trying to create, it may go away. And I may go back and shoot another quarter of the movie, and now it's not even close to what it was. You know what I mean? But I can win the Oscar, stay where I am, win the Oscar, and dedicate the movie to my dad. And now I win the Oscar, and now I'm on that stage saying, thank you, Dad, and maybe even say a little bit of that story. You know what I mean? Or whatever, something like that. But Arnold Schwarzenegger, by far, when he said that, it just changed my whole outlook on life. Because you grew up with all these old school Italians. They're very emotional. Very emotional. They don't use logic, a lot of them. It's every decision is made on emotion or from emotion.
That's true.
That's true.
You got to be logical, man. It's just logic.
All right. So we're going to take a quick intermission, like I said, and come back really quick with the rapid fire question. So here goes 2 commercials. One's from Vitali and one's from Dolce Vita. You ready? All right.
Do it.
Welcome back. Welcome back. All right.
Yep.
So before we get into the rapid fire questions, we got a comment from Thomas, who was on here with Big Time Tommy a couple weeks ago. He wants you to know that he lost his father. He goes, I lost my godfather at a very young age to drugs and a first cousin. Drugs aren't really used by bad people or people that live in the streets. It's good family people that got caught up in a bad situation as well. My cousin was a kind heart and loved people. Where'd I go? Loved people and wasn't afraid to tell you. He had back surgery and got caught up in a bad time. What a great loss. Rest in peace, John. There's a lot of help out there today. Help yourselves, if not for you, but for your families. So
Yeah, Tom.
So. All right, so rapid fire questions.
Get ready.
Get ready. Bronx Tale, Casino, Goodfellas, or Godfather? Which one's the best?
The best what? Like the best accurate depiction of the mob?
What's your favorite?
Yeah, what's your favorite one?
I would say The Godfather 1. But I'm just because Brando was in it and he was so good as the Don. I love James Caan as Sonny. I like Salazzo. I love part 2, but part 1. But Godfather romanticized, the whole genre, where Goodfellas didn't really romanticize it, where Goodfellas was maybe more accurate. I got to say, my favorite is The Godfather, but I don't know. I think Goodfellas was probably the best.
Okay.
So, being that in harmony with Justin Gerard's question, we got Trenton tomato pie, Brooklyn, or Chicago deep dish. Which is the best?
Wait, say that again?
Trenton tomato pie, Brooklyn, or Chicago deep dish?
Well, I think the pizza over here by me is better than all of them. You got Johnny's Pizza in Mount Vernon. You know that guy David Portnoy?
Yeah.
One bite, yeah, he ranked them like 3rd in the country, and it's like not even 10 minutes from my house.
You know who he ranked number 2?
Who?
De Lorenzo's.
De Lorenzo's.
Did he really?
Yeah.
I guess you're taking a trip.
And then number one was Sally's in New Haven.
Yeah.
I think De Lorenzo's got like the second highest score.
What did he get though? Because I know Johnny's got a 9.1.
It was 9 point, I think 9.6.
9.6, I think it was. Yeah.
Really?
Yeah.
I gotta check it out then. I like great, good pizzas, worth a trip.
Well, let us know when you come when you're ready.
Yeah, let us know when you're coming. Justin's got you. He's got us all. Wait,
Well, let me
9.3.
why don't you share Justin's contact with me so we'll make sure this happens. Hey, listen. Right. Now you're making me hungry. I want to come out there now if I have to.
Hey, they're open. They're open for a little while. Let's go.
Yeah.
All right. Favorite local restaurant, past or present?
Anywhere
His
you
favorite
want.
restaurant was a place called Tombolino's, but the owner, Peter, doesn't own it anymore, so I haven't been there since. You know what it is like? I grew up in an Italian family where we really didn't go out much to eat because we had all the good food home.
Yeah.
So it's I don't really like Manhattan. I went out to eat Manhattan a few times, but for me it was here
you could say your kitchen is your favorite place.
Yeah, I cook pretty well. I cook okay.
But even your mom.
I would say my mom's cooking is top notch.
All right. All right. So, favorite place to get coffee? Your kitchen?
Yeah.
All right. So here's a nail-biting question. It's going to cause a lot of controversy, and you might have it worse now because your answer. But is it sauce or gravy?
Well, it's different times in the process, which it's called different things. There's no one way or another. When it's out of the can or whatever,
Yeah.
And it's just regular, like marinara sauce.
Yeah.
And you just put some onions and some garlic, maybe sauteed in some olive oil, and you cook it. That's sauce. But when you put meat in there and meatballs and stuff like that, and you flavor the sauce with the meat and stuff like that, then it becomes gravy. It's like grape juice and wine.
Yeah.
Grape juice is sauce. Wine is gravy. It's the process. That's the bottom line.
That's the first
Don't let
time
anybody ever tell you anything different.
It's a good description.
It's sauce before you cook it with the meat. It's gravy after. That's the bottom line.
So,
it's not one or the other. It's
Carlo, I think you'd appreciate that since you make
different
wine.
stages of the process. It's called different things.
I do appreciate that. That's a good description.
When you get fucking grape juice, it's grape juice. When you let it ferment, it becomes wine. You get sauce. When you cook it with the meat, the process turns it into gravy.
Jimmy Lee says the best description yet.
It's a great description.
All right.
I like how you play on both sides. That's good.
Yeah, because that's what it is.
Yeah.
So favorite baseball team.
Matt, listen, when they say, I want marinara sauce, right? Marinara sauce. It's marinara sauce. But then after, there's no, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Then it becomes that. Now you're really making me hungry. We're talking about a lot of food. I can picture on that pasta, all those little broken pieces of meat, right? On the pasta that fell off.
Yeah.
Best.
Oh.
Favorite baseball team. We'll get out of food now.
The Mets.
Okay. So you're a New York guy. This is going to be interesting. Cowboys, Giants, Jets, or Eagles?
I don't like any of those teams. I'm a Dolphins fan.
Ooh,
I was a Marino fan.
All right, Marino.
Okay.
Yeah. I could care less. The Jets, I can't stand them because they've been a rival to Miami all these years. We just beat them, though, so I really don't. The Giants, my father liked the Giants. My uncles like the Giants, so I'll go with the Giants. Like, if Miami doesn't go anywhere, which they never do, I don't even remember when they even made it to the playoff. I think it was like 2008 was the last time, and they got beat by the Ravens in the first round. But, yeah, the Cowboys and the Eagles, I can give a shit about either one of them. The Giants are the only one that I would root for if they were in the Super Bowl. Oh, well, maybe the Jets, too. They're from New York.
Well, I like that answer. Joe doesn't.
No, I don't. I'm a Cowboy
Joe's a Cowboy fan.
Yeah.
All right, so here. So before I get to this next question, Justin wants to know: is it pork roll or tail or ham? Do you even know what they are?
No.
All right. So I'll give you a pass. You're from New York. It's all right.
He's got it. When he comes to Di Lorenzo's, then we'll expose him to a pork roll sandwich.
All right. All right.
Pork roll and cheese.
So I have to ask you: was it all Sean's idea?
Well, at that point, I didn't see any other reason. To take the blame myself. He was dead, so I might as well blame him. I would have fucking said he killed Kennedy too. Kennedy and Hoffa. Sean did it. Go ask him.
All right, some geography now. Is Trenton, New Jersey considered South Jersey, North Jersey, or Central Jersey? This is a big-time question around here.
Trenton? I don't know. Central, maybe?
There you go. Gets it right.
There you go. All right.
I don't really think it's North Jersey. Like North Jersey, I hear like.
Nah.
You'd be surprised.
Well, let me ask you this: where you go to work, where you go to Metuchen every week? Where do you consider that? You consider that Central?
I do, yeah.
Yeah. So
Wow,
that's more. That's more. That's Central, but North Central.
Okay, I'll go with that because it's only 50 minutes away. Okay.
Yeah.
All
right. So, did Tony, in fact, have the makings of a varsity athlete?
I don't know. I mean, I don't know.
All right.
He had the makings of a good gangster, though, right?
Yeah. So, pumpkin pie, pecan pie, apple pie.
Pecan pie.
Yeah.
All right. Thanksgiving, turkey or ham?
Turkey.
Yeah.
All right. Before we let you go, I just want to ask you one question because we didn't really touch on it. Your working with James Gandolfini. What was that like?
Oh, it was great. I knew him already from Crimson Tide.
Yeah.
So
With
like
Denzel
I knew him when he wasn't a big star. So like when we saw each other, like when I first saw that he was going to play the role in The Sopranos, I was like, this fucking guy. Out of all the people, they chose this guy because I didn't know he was that good. I mean, I knew he was a good actor, but I didn't know that he can play that because he seemed more straight-laced like American.
Yeah.
Was I wrong? That was like the best. That was like the best depiction of somebody like that ever. So,
Nice.
Yeah, rest in peace to him. Very, very brilliant guy, good man. You know.
So, Lillo, I very much appreciate you coming on here. It's about 8 o'clock, a minute after, but I definitely thank you. I know you're filming tomorrow. I very much appreciate you coming on. It's been a pleasure. We look forward to connecting and stuff after this. We're very encouraged by you, and make sure we're gonna definitely be cheering you on for your film career going forward. And
thank you, gentlemen.
Yeah.
I really would though. Let's stay in touch. I'd like to come out there for that pizza. I'll even treat. I don't give a shit. I'm just saying I like good pizza.
No, it's on Justin.
Well, let him know that. Tell him I'm not forgetful. I will remember that.
Yeah.
But thank you.
My other co-host,
Hi.
Hello.
My niece got very similar glasses. How old are you?
6.
My nieces are 5. They're twins. They're named Alexa and Madison. And they both wear glasses. And Alexa has pretty, those pink, right?
Yes.
Yes, she has pretty pink glasses. You know what? Hold on 1 second.
Lillo, I have twins too. That's cool.
Wait, hold on. Wait, I'm going to show. I want to get a picture of that. Well, that's my nephew. See, he's got the glasses on.
Okay.
Nice.
Okay, but hold on. Wait, the girl's got them too. Come on.
Proud uncle over here.
Yeah. How old are they? 5?
They're 5, and my nephew's 9. They don't have any with the damn glasses on. Come on. I can't believe it. They both. I was going to show you this one, but those are the wrong glasses.
Those are good glasses, though.
Damn, I can't. Nah, I can't find any with the glasses. I'm sorry.
It's all good. Text it to me later when you find it.
Oh, but last thing I'm going to show you. This was them on career day. 1.
Oh,
see that?
Yeah.
Yep.
Okay.
Nice.
That's Alexa.
Yep.
And there's Madison.
Nice.
Well, look, trying to be a little police.
Yeah. Nice.
Nice, right? All
Yep.
right. Happy Thanksgiving. Don't eat too much turkey. All right. I'll see you guys. Thank you so much.
Happy Thanksgiving. Thank you so much.
Thank you. Thank you.
Nice
It's been a
meeting you
pleasure.
guys.
We'll
God
talk
bless
to you
you.
later.
Later, guys. Bye-bye. Bye. Bye-bye.
Bye.
So, ladies and gentlemen, thank you for tuning in. We are going to be obviously taking a Thanksgiving break. We'll be back in the beginning of December, and we'll see what we do then, right, Carlo?
That's right, man. And it's it's a pleasure to have everybody on that comes on our show, and we really appreciate all of you guys watching out there, and we hope to bring you a lot more encouraging and inspirational things in the future. So thank you, guys. Joe.
Carlo,
Awesome.
Thank you, everyone. Everyone have a happy Thanksgiving, and we'll see you when we see you.
We'll see you later.